On the evening of April 23rd, 1954, Olive May Bennet was brutally murdered, her lifeless body callously discarded into the shadowy depths of the River Avon. Was this the work of a spurned lover consumed by jealousy, or the chilling precursor to a serial killer's reign of terror? I'm Kat Park. Join me with your favourite tipple as we delve into this haunting case from the 50s, riddled with unexpected twists, ominous turns, and familiar faces. This is episode 2 of the chilling case of Olive May Bennet, Unsolved. Olive's love life is a primary motive for her murder, and Spooner and Capstick believe this to be the case. Her personal life is a tangled web of secrecy and complexity. She is leading a double life. At 45, Olive is a late bloomer when it comes to relationships, choosing to dedicate her life so far to her patients and her profession as a midwife and nurse. This respectable pillar of the community is suddenly engaging in affairs with lots of men, some of whom are married. But what if Olive's story and eventual fate are intertwined with a broader societal shift that is bubbling beneath the surface? A fascinating chapter of history that's equal parts intriguing and mysterious. In the 50s, women were beginning to assert their independence and autonomy more than ever before. The post-war period saw an increasing number of women entering the workforce and making significant contributions to society. Yet, societal norms and expectations still place considerable restrictions on women, particularly regarding their personal lives. This changing social landscape might have influenced Olive's late blooming relationships. At 45, she began engaging in affairs with several men, some of whom were married. This sudden change in behaviour could be seen as an attempt to express her newfound independence and her desire to break free from societal restraints. Enter the world of pyramid clubs. Pyramid clubs were exclusive social clubs shrouded in secrecy and known for their exclusive memberships. These establishments provided a refuge for individuals to unwind away from the prying eyes of society. Frequented by people from all walks of life, including the affluent, influential, and even infamous figures. These clubs epitomised intrigue and discretion in the evolving social landscape of the 1950s. Sometimes referred to as ladies' invitation clubs. These clubs operated with the utmost confidentiality, extending invitations to select individuals. Nestled discreetly in major cities or towns, these venues catered to a diverse clientele, ranging from working class to the affluent, offering a comfortable and relaxed ambience for engaging conversation and various other activities. The pyramid clubs were a spectacle on their own, with women holding the reins. In a stark contrast to societal norms, women were the centre of attention here. They entered free or at a discounted rate, while men paid their way in. These clubs became infamous for casual sexual encounters, often attracting criticism and disapproval. The unique setup of these clubs, where women sought male companionship, often with the understanding that sex was likely, piqued the interest of detectives Capstick and Spooner, particularly following the murder of Jean Townsend. Could Olive a respected nurse and midwife, have been frequenting these clubs. The idea isn't so far-fetched. For Olive, these clubs would have provided a discreet, secretive space for illicit encounters, away from the judgmental eyes of colleagues and patients. Her dwindling savings could be attributed to the need to maintain appearances in such environments. This could also explain Olive's change in character. The heavy drinking, the smoking and bar hopping. Frequenting these clubs, attracting men, could have boosted her confidence and immersed her in a lifestyle that she had never experienced before, one that possibly overwhelmed her. Moreover, these clubs could provide answers to how Olive was meeting so many men, and why these men were hesitant to reveal themselves to the police. The culture of secrecy in these clubs, with members bound by oaths of confidentiality, would make it difficult for the police to gather information. The men involved would have faced the dual embarrassment of admitting to infidelity and revealing their involvement in such clubs. Could there have been a pyramid club in Stratford? Olive had disappeared for over an hour before reappearing at 11:45 p.m, with pubs closing at 10:30 p.m. It is unlikely she went to another bar. Could she have visited a local pyramid club? Unfortunately, records of these clubs are almost non-existent, as they managed to stay largely hidden from public view. It is crucial to remember that this is all speculation. There's no concrete evidence in the public records, at least those readily available, to confirm the theory. However, the idea of pyramid clubs playing a part in Olive's story does answer many questions, adding another layer of intrigue to her mysterious life and tragic death. What is safe to say, as investigators delve deeper into Olive's secretive love life, they found themselves navigating a labyrinth of clandestine relationships. Despite the extensive investigation conducted by Capstick and Spooner, Olive's murder case remains unsolved. On the first anniversary of Olive's death, Spooner was heard saying as he walked through the streets of Stratford, "This case is not closed, and never will be until the murderer is found." 2 years after Olive's death, Stratford is shocked by another brutal attack on a woman named Kathleen Ingram. In a chilling echo of Olive's ordeal, Kathleen Ingham, a 50-year-old woman, returns home late at night. She works in the local theatre. As the clock strikes 1 a.m, a man springs from the shadows, attacking her from behind in a horrifyingly familiar modus operandi. Kathleen's terrified scream is cut short as the assailant forces her scarf into her mouth, muffling her cries for help. However, showing remarkable grit and courage, Kathleen fights back. She manages to land blows to his face, head and body, turning her fear into a weapon. The assailant, taken aback by her fierce resistance, flees the scene, but not without signs of his violent encounter. The similarities between the two cases are hard to ignore. Late-night attacks on women, the attacker's sudden and violent approach from behind, and, most chillingly, the possibility of the same perpetrator. In 1958, a glimmer of hope emerges as the police reopen Olive's case, prompted by information from a prisoner in Wandsworth. He recounts a story involving a soldier who may have had a connection to Olive's murder, leading the authorities to Carlisle for an interview with a member of the Royal Pioneers Corps. This newfound lead ignites further investigations in the Bristol area. But yet again, the trail goes cold. A year later, in 1959, another nurse named Martha Giles is brutally murdered in Wolverhampton. The uncanny parallels between Martha's and Olive's case is impossible to ignore. Both victims are nurses in their 40s. Both murders lack clear motive, and both women had one missing shoe found later near, in or in water. Nevertheless, due to the stark contrast in the cause of death, Martha had been stabbed. The police began to question if there was any connection between them. Despite these seemingly insurmountable obstacles, the tenacity of the investigators remains unbroken. And 5 years after Olive's death, in April 1959, the police issue a statement that they know who Olive's killer is, and it is only a matter of time before justice is served. A chilling promise that keeps the town of Stratford on edge. Yet, as the years pass, the arrest is never made. Spooner and Capstick, the dedicated detectives at the heart of this investigation, pass away in 1970 and 1968 respectively, leaving behind an unsolved mystery that continues to haunt Stratford. In the late 60s, years after Olive's death, 2 women come forward and tell police about a strange incident that happened to them on the night of Olive's murder. They too had been in Holy Trinity Churchyard and had been confronted by 2 men who threatened them, saying they would strangle them both and throw them into the River Avon. The women had run away. Why these 2 women had never come forward before is unknown, and whether or not anything came of it, too, is unknown. If a true account, the 2 women had narrowly escaped from the clutches of a killer, but also opened the door to another possibility. There may have been 2. Olive May Bennet's story isn't just an unsolved crime. It's an exploration into the complex tapestry of human psychology. Her narrative showcases the inherent human struggle for independence, simultaneously highlighting the subconscious need for emotional connection. These dual desires can often lead us into the uncharted territories and secretive lives, as they did for Olive. As we finish our investigation into Olive's story, we find ourselves confronted with an abundance of queries rather than solutions. The intrigue and mystery surrounding her life and death continue to captivate us, and we are left pondering the secrets Olive has taken with her, the clandestine societies she may have been part of, and the identity of her killer, who still remains elusive to this day. These questions may forever go unanswered, but her story serves as a reminder that even the most seemingly ordinary lives can be filled with unimaginable twists and turns. Now it is over to you. Who do you think brutally murdered Olive May Bennet? Head over to our Facebook group where a full debrief is taking place. Thanks for listening to the Murder Wine Club. If you like our show, please give us a 5-star rating and review. And remember to tell your friends. Thank you for supporting the Murder Wine Club podcast. We really do appreciate it. You can listen to all of the episodes of the Olive May Bennet case right now before anyone else by joining the Murder Wine Club Access All Areas membership. You'll not only get early episode access, but you'll receive bonus episodes including a psychological profile of the killer and some behind-the-scenes access. Head over to patreon.com/Murder Wine Club and join today. The link is in the show notes below. Subscribe on Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, Spotify, or wherever you are listening right now.